Hi, everybody, and welcome to Season 1, Episode 23 of Power Networking Media's weekly feature program, Spotlight on Small Business. I'm your host, Moshe Klein. Spotlight on Small Business introduces you to successful small business owners who share content and information that you don't want to miss. Today, I'm very pleased to have a special guest. He's my friend and networking partner, Wayne Morris. Wayne is the owner and broker at USA Insurance Brokers, and he is truly a wealth of knowledge and information. Wayne, welcome to the program.
Hi, Moshe. Thank you for inviting me.
It's truly a pleasure. I've got some important and timely questions to ask you that
Sure.
not only am I interested in learning, but I very much want our viewers to hear directly from a reliable source. So let's just dive right in. You and I have been networking partners and friends for a bit of time now. I've come to know you and trust you. But for those of our viewers who are meeting you for the first time, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and USA Insurance Brokers.
Sure. Well, I started USA Insurance Brokers 17 years ago. I had been the vice president of worldwide sales and marketing for telecom firms traveling all over the world for 30 years before this. And after 9/11, travel just became a big hassle and very difficult. And I decided, let's move where we want to live. And I'm going to start my own business. And that's when I got into the insurance business. Currently, I represent over 50 carriers for individual and group health insurance, life insurance, Medicare, long term care, disability. I show our clients how to improve their coverage, reduce their premiums, and eliminate their financial risk in case of serious illness. So that's what we do, and I've been doing that for 17 years.
And you do it so very well. You're held in such high regard in networking circles. So I know a lot of professionals like me feel very comfortable referring our clients to you. Before I go into some targeted questions about some timely, important issues that we're all dealing with now, I just want to ask you, I'm sure you get this question a lot. Wayne, what is the difference between an insurance agent and a broker like yourself?
Sure. An insurance agent is typically captive to one company. And for the first 4 years that I was in business, I was a captive agent. And I realized within a short period of time that I couldn't do the right thing for the client by being a captive agent because I was subject to the insurance carriers' underwriting guidelines, their rate increases. So I decided about 14 years ago to become an independent broker and represent virtually all of the insurance companies for health and life insurance and Medicare.
Makes perfect sense, and you really can you have a broader reach for the benefit of your clients. Wayne, I want to tell you something. I wish we had a whole hour together to talk about what I'm about to ask you about, but regretfully, we have only a fraction of that. So let's just jump right in. Last tax season, because of COVID, was one for the record books. And I thought that we would put COVID and all of the unique issues pertaining to it in the rearview mirror. But here we are again dealing with it again. And this year it's even more complicated, in my professional opinion, because the IRS, the Treasury Department, and really almost every state in the country is introducing, announcing, and changing the rules literally, Wayne, as we're preparing tax returns right now for clients. One of the things that came up this year, and it's truly a blessing, it's called the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, but most lay people like me call it Biden Care. We all know
Right.
what Obamacare is, the Affordable Care Act, and now we have Biden Care, who President Biden sort of took Obamacare and took it to the next level, expanded it in so many ways. But the thing I want to ask you about specifically are these advanced premium tax credits that we as accountants and tax professionals are dealing with, but that actually impact so many of your clients who have health insurance and are paying a lot of money, who may be able to take advantage through the marketplace now at a much more affordable rate. And even people who are currently getting their health care through the marketplace might be able to save even hundreds of dollars a month. So, with that introduction, tell us what you know about it and what it is you think we should know about it.
Sure. Well, the American Rescue Plan was introduced on April 1st. So it's only been in force for about 7 days now. And what it does is significantly increases the advanced premium tax credits that are available to over 90% of Americans, that dramatically increases the tax credits they're eligible for to reduce their premiums. It also introduced several new, again, depending on your income, you may qualify for zero premium plans. So it all really comes down to what is your adjusted gross income? What are you projecting for this year? And what kind of tax credits are available to you? It also expands the income tax brackets. So people that were previously not eligible for advanced premium tax credits are now eligible, even up to and over 400% of the federal poverty level. So it's done a tremendous job in reducing healthcare premiums, which have, the total premiums have increased 200 or 300% from what they were prior to Obamacare. And now it brings them back down so that virtually anyone can afford coverage.
Wayne, let's pull on that thread a little bit to make sure that our viewers understand who might be eligible for these advanced credits that you just beautifully and simply described. We're not talking about group plans for large businesses. We're talking about individual plans. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes. And it's all based on what your estimated adjusted gross income is. Part of the American Rescue Plan, uh, one of the parts of the legislation limits your total tax, your total premiums to no more than 8.5% of your adjusted gross income. It is not available, the tax subsidies are not available to individuals and families that have employer group coverage options if those employer group rates do not exceed 8.5% of their household income. So if you file a joint tax return, it is based on your household income and what you're projecting. The subsidies, if you applied this month, the subsidies would go into effect and reduce your premiums as of May 1st. But it's also retroactive to January 1st, and those will be reconciled when you file your tax return for 2021. It also extends the tax credits through 2022.
I'm just doing the math in my head, Wayne, as you're speaking. This potentially could amount to some material savings for many, many people around the country. And you did say, I want to make sure I heard you correctly, that even though this is April of 2021, if someone is eligible, it would be retroactive to January of 2021. Is that correct?
That's correct. In
Okay.
fact, I signed up one of my, and you do have to submit a new application. So it
Ah,
is not automatic. It requires anyone that wants to apply for coverage, and they've extended the open enrollment period, which actually ended December 15th of last year. President Biden has extended the open enrollment period to August 15th of this year. So anyone can sign up for coverage. They are eligible for the tax credits depending on what their adjusted gross income is. And those subsidies are retroactive to January 1st, but the tax credits from January through April will be reflected and reconciled when they file their tax return.
Wayne, like I said at the start of the program, we really could do a full hour just
We
on this
could.
topic alone and probably not even scratch the surface. We're almost out of time, but I do want to try to squeeze in one or two really important questions before we wrap it up for today's episode. My first question is, since many of our viewers are small business owners, and some of those viewers who own small businesses are married to their business partner. So you did say, and it's really true, it's more common than you might realize.
Correct.
But you did mention earlier that these benefits are available to individual for individual plans only. So theoretically, a husband could apply for benefits or credits, and that wife could as well, but they would have to do so individually. But it would be the household combined income that would be the determining factor. Is that a correct understanding?
Well, we would submit, it really depends on whether they file their tax returns as a joint couple or individually. And if they file it as a joint couple, we would submit their application as a primary insured and then the spouse or dependents also on that policy. But it is always based on the combined household income if you file a joint return. If you file individual returns separately, then it would be based on each of your incomes individually.
Got it. That's so helpful. Thanks for clarifying that.
And one of the other things a lot of people don't understand, if we have time for it, is I get calls all the time for people saying, I want private insurance. I don't want an ACA plan. Every individual and an employer group plan that's been issued in the past 9 years since Obamacare was passed is ACA compliant. Those plans are the only plans that are guaranteed to cover pre-existing conditions. So every group plan is ACA compliant, as are all the individual major medical plans. There are 6 carriers available in Arizona for individual plans. The only private plans that are available are what are called defined fixed benefit, Christian healthcare sharing plans, or short-term medical plans, and those plans do not cover pre-existing conditions.
Wayne, we truly are out of time, but I do have to squeeze in this last question. I'm certain for me, you've solved many of the mysteries, you've unconfused me, and you've opened up a world of opportunity, I think, for probably most of our viewers to be potentially eligible to take advantage of some of these credits and maybe save a lot of money. Is there any reason why somebody who's watching this episode and who might have questions should not reach out to you for a free and confidential consultation, Wayne? Is there any downside to somebody calling you to say, hey, am I eligible?
No, I do that all the time. I mean, I have free consultations. There are no fees for our services, and there's absolutely no downside to contacting me. And we'll compare all the plans, and I give my clients and prospects a guarantee that I will show them their best options, regardless of who the carrier is. It doesn't matter to me what carrier they have. It matters to me what their income is, whether they have any pre-existing conditions they need coverage for, and those other issues that are really important to determine before you sign up for any plan.
Oh, absolutely. So, Wayne, how can our viewers get in touch with you to arrange for that free and confidential consultation?
Sure, they can reach me at 623-688-2411. They can go on to my website at usainsurancebroker's.com. And if they want ACA quotes, they can get free quotes online by clicking on the ACA instant quote link on my website. So they can compare their own plans and what their tax subsidies might be, or contact me, because it's very important under ACA plans to make sure that your providers are in the plan that you select, because the networks vary widely. So you have to select a plan that includes the doctors, specialists, and hospitals that you want in network.
Well, Wayne Morris, owner, broker, very knowledgeable insurance broker. We are definitely going to be inviting you back as a returning guest several times to sort of continue this discussion as more information becomes available. There's no doubt you are the go-to guy. I want to thank you for taking time out of what I know is your very busy schedule to be a guest today on Spotlight on Small Business. If you would like to be a guest on Spotlight on Small Business, we would love to have you. Just send an email to team@powernetworkingteam.com and we'll make those arrangements right away. Until next week and another episode of Spotlight on Small Business, good luck and good networking.
Thank you, Moshe. It's